Alrighty, so I have a really special hot toy today.
You do.
So this is one I've been looking at for a long time, and actually I didn't think I wanted it because I have the Arkham City Batman, and I was like, I don't. Why do I have the snap bracelet still on from our last video?
Oh, because I had a good time just.
Anyways, so I looked at this Batman. It's expensive now because it's sold out. You know,
yeah.
Normal thing. But I didn't buy it when it was on Sideshow because I have the Arkham City Batman, and I thought that was good enough. Well, recently I got back into playing Arkham Knight because I didn't finish it, and I was kind of bored, and I said, let me play some more of it, and I was like, my God, that outfit is so cool. Why did I not buy the hot toy?
Let me be honest with you. It's a Batman. You know Mark's a Batman. Like, super fan.
Yeah.
He's gonna have it. So, he can give you all these, like, I saw this and I did this reason why. But then he was like, I really want this, so I think I'm gonna get it. I was like, okay, just do it.
So, yeah, here it is. The Arkham Knight Batman. One of the coolest hot toys you're gonna see for Batman if you collect Batman.
It is.
So I got it from eBay, thankfully. I didn't get a good deal, unfortunately. Nope. I mean, I got an okay deal, but
it was a bidding war, and Mark won.
Let's just say that. Yeah. Let's just say I won, okay? Anyway, so here we go.
At all costs,
At all costs. It happens, right? So, front of it opens up, and as you can see, we have Batman in there and the Arkham Knight.
You know, I can't say anything. I bid a lot of money back at one point in my life for an autographed picture of Rob Pattinson, so
hey,
bid whatever you want.
We have Harry Potter 6 scale figures that she has to review, too. Dumbledore!
Hey, I would spend all the money in the world for Dumbledore.
Alrighty, so here he is in his clamshell, and looks like he has a backing. Yeah, so
cool.
I don't usually use these backings, although I think they are cool. I store these in DTOFs, so I think at one point I'd like to take the art and then print it on. We have a large format printer. I want to print it for the same size as the back, and then put it in the back. I think that'd be cool. It'd be nice. I think these are cool to have, but I don't really use them. All right, and then there's the clamshell. As you can see, Batman and tons of accessories on this. I'm not going to use a whole lot of the accessories. Just because
he's cool enough without him,
yeah. Alright, so before getting into Batman, I'm just going to go over the accessories real quick. So we get a line launcher, I believe is what they call it in the game. You get a couple batarangs. You get a grappling gun. You get some other stuff. I think you get the gun that draws the bat thing and blows up, you know. You get some other stuff. I don't know.
He's just so eager to get into the Batman. Just set it to the side and we'll look at it later.
You know, you get the line launcher lines, which is cool. So you get a whole bunch of different accessories, basically. You get all the different guns that he has, all the different grappling guns.
Batman doesn't use guns.
And, yeah, well, these are all the special guns that don't kill you. Yeah, you can take a look at them and see what they are. Maybe something in there tickles your fancy from the game that you watch. But I'm here for the Batman. So we have 7 hands in the box, and then obviously 2 of them on his body. We also have another mouth plate, which is sort of like a grr mouth. Which actually, I like that grr mouth. I might actually put that on there. I'm not really sure.
I want to touch him.
And then the coolest accessory, in my opinion, this will be the one that I'll use, is when he has his little, you know, and he talks to Oracle. You can actually put this on his gauntlet, I guess is what we can call it, and then you can see Oracle in there.
That's cool.
Which is really, really cool. So it's like this little hologram screen.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that is actually a really cool...
That's probably my favorite accessory.
Yeah, that's a cool accessory. That'll be the one that I'll use when displaying him. So, let me take him out of the package.
Whoa, his ears are tall.
So one thing about this one is he's very heavy. He's heavy compared to all the other ones that I have, which I'm anxious to see why. Besides his height, he's actually very tall. He's much taller. I got the Joker recently, so I'll throw in pictures at the end of this video so you can see what he looks like compared to Joker, as well as what he looks like compared to the Arkham City Batman. Just kind of, you can get an idea of the differences. So one thing with Hot Toys, they put these little plastic covering on them, which is good. That way they don't rub against each other in the packaging. Alright, so those are off, and they also have foam things under the armpits we have to take off, again, to prevent rubbing. And I believe that's it. I believe that's all of the stuff that we need to worry about.
His cape is awesome.
Again, a very, very tall Batman. A very, very detailed Batman.
Yes.
Which I enjoy. And also, there's so many different materials on this. You get reflections, you get refractions, you get texture, you get just
age,
everything. You get age, you get worn weathering.
I love the cloth cape.
So cool, metallic.
Yeah.
Even if you look close on some of this stuff, You can even see different patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, really enjoy this Batman. I think the head sculpt is really, really well done too.
It's amazing.
Cape is like a crazy pleather. So
I love those ears.
very, very cool Batman. Let me go over them for you guys real quick, and we can kind of take a look at what I like and what I dislike. First off, let's go with the head sculpt.
Okay.
That's a really good head sculpt. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
The eyes look deep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're deep. They're dark, but you can also see the pupils in them, so they have kind of feeling.
Soul,
yeah. He does have very tall ears in the game, so that is one thing. If you don't like the tall ears, you might not like this Batman. Personally, I like the tall ears on this suit.
Yeah.
I usually like the shorter ears, but in the game, I think the outfit is so cool. Like, the uniform is so cool. You know, it's funny how games can make cooler outfits in movies. What's up with that? The head moves really great, too. It's got great movement, because he does have, like, a back neck plate, but it's smooth, it doesn't look bad either, so it hides the seams. And again, he does have another mouth plate that you can take this one out magnetically and put it in where he has, like, a grimacing look. Now that neck has a lot of detail.
It's
very robotic.
So detailed.
I like how the side plates look like they're made of like carbon fiber.
Yeah, I do too.
And that's something you would think if Batman was real and he had an outfit. Carbon fiber might be something he uses for things that he wants light.
That's true.
You know, strength, but also being light.
Right.
He also carries that over to his shoulder pads. That is really, really neat. And the way that they build him up, he has movement in his arms that move those up, so it's not, you know, constricting his movement in his arms. That's one bad thing about the Arkham City Batman. He doesn't move at all. I mean, you have very limited mobility. This one has a little bit more. Still not perfect, but he does have a little bit more in his arms. So if you do want to pose him maybe a little more crazy, you know, you have that option. Also in the suit, there's a lot of padding in the arms.
Can I feel it?
Yeah, so you can feel like his biceps are mostly padded just to make him look a little bigger. You know, depending on what the body is underneath.
I like that because it's not like super hard all the way through. Like you can feel a little bit underneath. I like that.
Yeah, and if you look close, man, there is just an abundant amount of material on this.
Is that like a rubber?
This just looks like an expensive hot toy.
Wow.
Now, when you bought it brand new, it wasn't really that expensive. I think it was like $250 new or something like that. You know, but this looks to me like something you would think of like an Iron Man being in the 3s or the 4s, in my opinion. The front suit, the plate in the front is so attractive to me. Like, that is one of the best looking front ends of a Batman suit I've ever seen. I mean, just in general, I think that the Arkham Knight Batman suit, his uniform, is the best that's ever been made. Like, that's just my opinion, but I think if that game was a movie, everybody would go wild for it.
I think all of the character designs in that game were pretty phenomenal. I loved Harley in that game.
Harley was awesome.
So
Scarecrow was awesome. Yeah, literally everybody. Joker was awesome.
Yeah.
It's like the animated series on steroids.
Yes.
You know, we can look at the animated series and say those designs were, like, great. They kind of brought Batman into what it is now. I think the game, they've taken those somewhat animated series styles and then just filled them with steroids and made them awesome. The front plates of these, like where the abs and everything, the padding, the armor, it's a piece that just kind of sits on top of his body. It has some movement to it, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
And it does have some weathering, some battle damage. And if you look really close at the bat symbol, you can see that it has just, I mean, everywhere, not just the bat symbol, but it has designs and textures that looks like carbon fiber and different material. Something that Batman or Bruce Wayne would have created in his Wayne Tech. Belt looks really cool. Again, it looks weathered and it's gold, like a brass.
Yes, that's what I was
which is
going
cool.
to say.
So I really love that. Pants move down to this sort of rubber material, this smooth material. And when I think of if Batman was real again and he had an outfit that he wore, this seems like what he would do because he has a lot of movement in this, you know. And then you get into the boots. And what's interesting about the boots, not only boots, but also the arm, I don't know what you call it. I guess gauntlets is what you technically call them.
Yeah, I guess so.
They're blue. This is something I didn't actually notice in the game, but these are dark, dark, dark blue, almost midnight blue with a little bit of metallic. And I didn't notice that, but they're so dark, you can't really tell.
You can't see a difference, but now that you say that, you can, like, on the tops of his hands, like, right through here by his knuckles, you can see a little bit of a lighter blue there. But other than that, that's the only place you can really tell a difference.
I think I would have just made them black, though, if I was Hot Toys. I wouldn't have done the blue, because it is kind of weird.
They have to stick true to the character design that they're sent, those files.
Yeah, that's true, I guess, if that's what they were unless I get it wrong. I don't know. I don't remember them in the game like that, but nonetheless, I think they're great. They're layered. They're heavy. They look like armor. They look like they move. That goes for the boots and as well as the gauntlets, and even with like the little bat things right here that come out. Yeah, they even look like they would just come out like ching. You know, like they look mechanical.
I love the cape.
Yeah, let's flip around to the back and take a look at the cape. So this is like a pleather, I would say, and it's shiny. Yeah. It's heavy.
It's very heavy. It has wiring in it so you can pose it, which is one of my favorite things. Yeah, not every little
could use a little more wiring probably, but yeah. Also in the game, you'll notice on the back of Batman's cape in the game, he has these designs in the cape. They're like arrows or teeth or something like that. And they've done that as well on this cape too. And they're actually different materials. So one is like a glossy, where the other is flat or thinner. And so I gotta say they've matched that dang near perfect, as far as I can tell. I think in the game though, the cape might have been a little more weathered, if I'm not mistaken. But I like how they made it like a glossy look, because one of the coolest things in the game when you're like perched over Gotham City and it's raining, your suit looks wet and it reflects and things like that. I think that's they kind of gives you that feel to it, you know. That's what I like about that. So I love this Batman. I
think it's really cool. I think it's going to look great with the Joker. I think it's going to look phenomenal in your DTOF, especially since you got all those new lights put in there. I'm excited to see what they look like together.
Video coming soon of DTOFs. Basically where to get them, how to build them, how to put lights on them, how to display your stuff. That's coming soon. And so that's not it though. We have a base. So let's take a look at the base here. Now, if you guys are into the Arkham stuff, maybe you have an Arkham Knight or maybe Arkham Batman, they have a Deathstroke coming out, which looks really great. I think I'll probably get that one because I can display him with the Arkham City Batman, and I can display Joker with this Batman. So on the base, it's basic, just like all the Arkham Knight stuff. Has Batman's head, and then I think maybe the wheel is steering wheel of the Batmobile.
It's hard to tell.
I can't really tell. It's so dark, and I like that because you don't want it to kind of overdo it.
Take away from the character.
And then on the front end, it just says Batman in the silver plate, just like the Joker does, because he has the same base, and very kind of angular back plate to it. Which, like any hot toy, the base has this lift-up piece that you put like in his crotch, or sometimes they wrap around the back side of him if it's that kind of stand. And then, they just stand. Like, that is just
super cool.
I love that. I think that is cool. So, in my opinion, this is the best Batman that Hot Toys has made. I know that's kind of a crazy thing to say.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to like the Adam West one just because I really like the 66 Batman. And I think that, again, that was a really good Hot Toy. Like, it was a basic Hot Toy. But if you want something just awesome, just cool looking, I think this is it. And then you don't have to play into the movie stuff. You know, Affleck and...
Affleck.
Yeah. The armored suit is pretty cool.
I like this so much.
Even the original suit is pretty cool, but I don't know if it transitioned that well into Hot Toy. The Keaton stuff is pretty neat, but I think Hot Toys wasn't as... They didn't do stuff as well back then as they do now. So if they revisited it, I'm sure they could do something cooler. And then you get into the Dark Knight stuff. And it's good. They've done a couple good ones and some bad ones, but I think that they've done really well. So I would say the Dark Knight and this one are the ones that would go head to head.
I agree.
And I think this one wins. I think this one wins. Mainly because of all the different materials that Hot Toys has done with this. I just think that it was very, very well done, very creative. He looks menacing. He looks like something that... Well, he looks like Batman, basically. This is what I would see.
I think this is the quintessential Batman, I like this.
Yeah, this is the quintessential Batman for me. And I do like the Arkham City Batman, too. You can get him a little cheaper, and he is cool. I just don't think he's as cool as this thing. This thing is awesome. So, that's that. Let me throw the camera around, and let's take a look at some comparisons for these. Okay, so before I get into comparing the two Batmans, I wanted to kind of go over the Arkham Knight Batman real quick so you can get kind of a closer look at it. As you can see, the eyes they're glossy, they're crystal, you know, they look deep, like they have emotion to it. Great skin tone, great face sculpt, lots of detail on the neck. Look at that, and you can see the carbon fiber look to the shoulder pads. Beautiful, the way the light kind of bounces off this figure is just really, really cool. Really great looking front torso piece to the armor. Belt is a great color. As you can see, the gauntlets are just very, very mechanical. Pants are awesome, lots of different textures in those as well. And materials, for that matter, just tons and tons of materials that they used. armor on the kneecaps, and these boots are really great. And as you can tell, the base on it is really well done too. Very simple, very basic, but that's what I like in a base. So when we flip it around the back, as you can see, the cape is just incredible. They did an amazing job on it. It's got the gloss look to it, even has the leather texture, and it has that stitching, that triangle stitching that you can see inside the game. So one of my favorite Hot Toys I own, and definitely my favorite Batman that I own, and one of my favorite Batman designs altogether. So there he is, Arkham Knight. Now let's get on to the comparison with the Arkham City Batman. Alright, so there you go. There is the comparison in size. As you can tell, the Arkham Knight Batman is quite a bit bigger than the Arkham City Batman by maybe more than a head. Just look at the shoulders. Look at the difference in the shoulders. Now granted, the base is a little taller, but still, that's pretty dramatic for a Batman, considering Batman's usually around anywhere from 6'2" to 6'4" is usually what they say he is. But as far as design, the Arkham City Batman's cool. That is what it looked like in the game, so even though it's very plain, that is what it looked like, so I can't fault Hot Toys for that. However, the suit that they had is all this like rubber material. The whole thing is a rubber suit. So when you compare the two, you can see that the Arkham Knight just has all these textures and tons of armor, and it just looks altogether better, where this just has like a texture to it. And I guess that's sort of made to look like plates, like armor plates, which it doesn't really, but it was a good attempt, I guess, for Hot Toys at the time. It's just, you know, not as good as this, obviously, because like I said earlier on the video, this is all one solid piece that kind of moves around, which is fine with me, considering this is actually one full suit, which is a little strange. Also on the Arkham Knight, he has pants, whereas the Arkham City actually has a leg. These are separate. The legs are separate. It's a separate joint from the torso. So this actually separates the legs. So it actually kicks better. It's a little bit more posable, where the legs on him are nearly impossible because of that material. If I was going to compare the posability to the two, they're both not very good, but the Arkham City is almost terrible. You really can't do anything with him because this suit pretty much prevents you from moving him at all because it's so tight. As far as face sculpts go, as you can tell, I mean, they're both pretty good. The Arkham City's is kind of goofy, that lip thing they're doing. It's a little weird, but that's what the game looked like, whereas this one looks just serious and brooding and just all around cool. And the skin tone's done better. I think the Arkham City skin tone's like a yellow looking, where this one has more of an actual like red, more reds in it, more peaches in it. It looks just better. Now flipping around on the back, let's take a look at the capes real quick. Again, I'd say the material on the Arkham City is a lot softer, and it falls more like a cape, but it doesn't have any wires in it, so it's not posable at all. I do kind of like the pleather look to it a little better, where it's a little shiny, because it does look like rain. Like I said, the video game has like a rain look to it. It rains all the time in the video game, actually. So I do like that better. However, I think I like the material or the softness of this better, because it just does lay better. Where this one kind of it doesn't really lay that well. So yeah, just kind of looking them up and down one last time, I just don't think it's a contest. I really don't. I think the Arkham Knight not only is the best Batman figure Hot Toys has ever made, I think it blows the competition away if we're comparing it to the other Arkham Batman. Now here is Arkham Knight Batman next to the Arkham Origins or Arkham Asylum Joker. Again, the sizes are great. Batman's a little taller than Joker, but they do look fantastic together. I mean, the Joker figure is really cool. I'll do a review of him a little later. I just haven't got to it yet. But I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what they look like together. I mean, they do look really, really great together. So, I mean, as you can see there, it's a cool line. It's a cool line if you're a DC fan and maybe you don't like the movie stuff that's come out. At least they have the Arkham line still going on. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like that. Yeah. I think this is really great. Now, again, we saw all those accessories. Let's take a look at him holding some of these accessories. Alright, there we go. That is the Arkham Knight Batman. One of the coolest hot toys
Super
of all
cool.
time. Thank you guys for watching. So let us know down in the comments if you like this one, if you are interested in hot toys, what are you thinking about? I know probably the in-game ones are going to be ones
they're
going to
be so great.
Most,
Those are the ones that I'm really excited for.
yeah.
Those are the characters I personally want.
Yeah, and let us know if you guys want to keep seeing hot toy reviews on the channel. We buy them, we just don't usually review them. That's all it is.
He buys tons of them.
We buy a lot of stuff we don't review, to be
Yeah.
honest. So let us know down in the comments if that's something you guys would like to see. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.